Oh, my only crime was being happy. That's all I did.
I hate you.
Holy shit, Danny.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Market Down podcast, where I'm James Gisanti, and my internet sucks, and I am joined by my man, Danny Hernandez, Mr. Monday Night Raw, Danny Hernandez, who is here with me on a Wednesday. How you doing, buddy?
Robotic, apparently. How are you? Yep, this is what we're talking about.
I'm all right. I think you're asking me how I'm doing. I don't know. I'm going to believe that you're a polite human being, maybe. But I'm doing well. And I've missed you. And I've missed covering AEW. And I've missed covering wrestling with you. So I'm just happy to be here with you. And this was a great night to do it, guys. Because guess what? This was Blood and Guts, AEW Dynamite, Blood and Guts. They do this kind of once a year at this point, unofficially. But it was a fun show. Very bloody. Very gutsy. They kept promising and teasing us that guts were going to spill. It never quite happened, but still an awesome show. And it was a 4-match show, a 4-match card. We were only advertised 3 of them. But this was a hell of a start. This was I've been looking forward to this match for a few weeks now. I've been looking forward to the debut of the Elite's 5th member, Kota Ibushi, finally making his AEW debut here tonight. That was a fun little welcome. I saw somebody in our chat say they gave him a mild reaction. I'm going to respectfully disagree with that person. But before we get into the details, what did you think of the match, Danny?
I thought the match was fucking insane. I audibly squealed a couple of times. Moxley has got to be stopped, right? Like, the guy is insane. Like, he's unhinged. This isn't normal. People aren't normally like this. So, like, someone stop him. Like, they had to handcuff him, otherwise he would have probably dove face first into the glass. But what did you think of the match?
Oh, I loved it. I don't know how I'd compare it to other Blood and Guts matches, but the hype was probably the biggest I've ever had. Oh, I was wondering if I was lagging, but no, I just shaved. So, yes, this is my ugly self. Thank you, Eric. I don't know how I'd compare it to other Blood and Guts matches, but the hype was definitely more real for this one than I think any other. I knew when you combined these 10 men, we were going to get an excellent match. We were going to get an exciting match, and we did. It was violent. It was surprising. I've seen things that I could officially say I've never seen before in wrestling. I've never seen a bed of nails in a match before. They literally made it rain thumbtacks. They went death the worst of all the Blood and Guts.
I feel like you have like the opposite of recency bias. Like, what? How Jericho botched? What, I don't want to say Jericho botched, but the production team botched the ending to Jericho falling off the cage. I mean, actually, this was equally as bad an ending, but like, the match itself was fantastic, dude. What are you talking about? What?
I thought it was
drugs
a great match.
are you on, bro? You're supposed to be on uppers, not downers, bro. What are you doing?
I can't speak to our viewers, mental state and their medical intake. Always ask a doctor before you take anything. But regardless of that, I can agree that maybe the ending felt a little rushed. That's kind of the problem with having these matches on TV as opposed to pay-per-view, when you're a little bit more in control of the scheduling. But I thought the match overall was very well paced, had action from beginning to end. I thought the choice of 2 starting men were the right 2 choices.
Absolutely.
Blackpool Combat Club, yeah, right? Starting with Claudio, and the Golden Elite starting with Kenny Omega. These are two men that I think we've been saying for a while now here on the pod, and just in general, how much we want to see these guys have one-on-one matches. And I feel like this is the closest we're going to get for a little while. I'm okay with that. But just overall, a fun first 5 minutes of this. They had said prior to the match starting that the Blackpool Combat Club had won the coin toss to determine who would get the advantage. The Blackpool Combat Club won that, and out came, who was it? Pac, right?
Yep.
Yeah, what was that?
I said, you asked me a question, and then I said, yep. Guys, we're having technical difficulties, guys. Okay.
Oh, we're in trouble right now. I'm going to have you take over for a second while I deal with some technical difficulties, but I have faith in you to lightly recap while I'm adjusting.
All right. Well, all right, guys. Let me tell you. Let me tell you how it was. This shit was fucking wild, bro. First of all, started with Claudio and Omega was fantastic. I wish they wrestled for longer, but I love that everyone had individual entrances instead of the dumb everyone locked in a cage thing. It's not that dumb, but it just doesn't. It's not as. It doesn't feel as good as everyone having an individual entrance. Or what AEW did the past 2 years, have everyone right outside the cage, which helps a little bit for the aesthetic of chomping at the bits to get in, but having everyone have their individual entrance is a lot better looking, and it makes the match feel like a bigger deal. So I was a big fan of that. But yeah, hello, stranger. Who are you, James 2? Are you okay? What's going on? Yeah, dude, I don't know what's going on here. Like, I hear him perfect, and I have a strong signal, but he says I'm coming in all robotic. But like, I've listened also to the stream, and it sounds fine. But I don't know what's going on. Eric, you got to get in here and save us. But anyway, this match was oh my god, turn the volume down on your phone. But anyway, this match was fantastic. Pac came in, Hangman came in, it was nice. It was a good idea to have Hangman come in, have all the him and Kenny bits. That was very, very fun. I didn't write down notes for any of this. This match was fucking insane. They brought out a fucking bed of nails, and I know I should be waiting for him to get back before we do that, but I don't care, bro. They brought out a bed of nails, and they did multiple spots on it. Why? You don't need to do that. I winced. I squealed a little bit. It made me uncomfortable. But it was insane. It was crazy. Kenny took the first 2 bumps. Mox took bumps. I lost track how many people took bumps on this. Oh, yeah, when Mox came in, that's when it really got fucking insane. Dude poured a bucket of broken glass in the ring. And, every spot from there on out pretty much involved this broken glass. I don't think anyone avoided the glass. Fucking wild. Everyone was taking bumps left and right. The Bucks came in. They threw a lot of super kicks. They didn't really do anything too of note, and not in a bad way. Just the match was so insanely violent. It's really hard to highlight anyone in particular. Like Wheeler Yuta came out. He did fuck all, right? But as to be expected. But the highlights of the match, in my opinion, were Mox, Claudio, Omega, Hangman, and Takeshita. Honestly, I thought Ibushi came out, and I like Ibushi. He whiffed a lot of kicks in this. He looks like he got knocked silly really early on in it, and he was a little disoriented. But he still did his part, and it was just awesome to see him. Like, Ibushi being in this match was a great move, and the crowd was eating it up. The crowd was super into like Golden Lovers stuff and any Golden Elite spot. Like, they got the reference. This crowd was insane. First of all, my one nitpick on this crowd is fuck the "We Want Tables" chants. You don't need. It's 2023. We don't need that chant. Like, there's gonna be tables. Fuck you. Like, I normally don't like to call fans entitled, spoiled, or wrong, but when you're chanting "We Want Tables" in a match that has already so much fucking violence, like, bro, tables aren't more violent than glass and a bed of nails. That's literally like, oh, winning, you win $1 million in the lottery, and then you're like, oh yeah, but if I hit these numbers, I'll win 500. Like, the fuck, the table's a huge downgrade from glass and a bed of nails, right? Like,
Completely agree.
Oh, look at that! Can you hear me in real time?
Yes, I can.
Wow, look at that!
It's lovely, actually.
Yeah, yeah. But Eric, you are right, right? Like, we need a fire. See, that where it was funny. That's where the crowd wanted me back when they chanted, "We want fire." But
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you're gonna give us what we want? Cool. We want fucking fire. But insane. Sorry, I've skipped over like everything and just talked about highlights. Like,
I caught some of it. Yeah, I caught some of it. There were definitely a lot of highlights. Kota Ibushi was definitely missing a step here and there.
Yeah, it was weird. I thought he got knocked silly. Like, he seemed like disoriented very early on.
I think the reality is Kota hasn't been in a ring, at least on TV, in over a year. So I think he's just very rusty. He needed to, like, I'm in no way body shaming, because Kota Ibushi on his worst day will look better than I ever will on my best day in my life.
I like how thick he looks, honestly.
Yeah, but this was a very different Kota than I'm used to seeing. He's usually a very cut guy. He's usually a very lean guy. He had put on a little extra weight, and maybe that was the right choice for him, but I know he was struggling going to the gym for a long time after his injury. So maybe he's still adjusting to this new body type. Maybe he's adjusting to some ring rust. Either way, it's cool to have him back in any capacity. I popped for him. The crowd definitely got behind him eventually. I don't think they were ever quiet on him. Kenny ain't fake. Jesus Christ.
That's a funny comment.
I don't like it, though.
Jay, this thing in the Jansen was amazing. We're gonna talk about that later. I wish the whole show should be about that, but we'll get to that that nonsense. But yeah, it's okay. Like, it's okay that he wasn't, because this is the match where, like, it doesn't matter if you're not Chris, because it's not a smooth match.
Exactly.
Things shouldn't look too smooth. Like, they should look like there's a bit of a struggle, and then moves should look sloppier. And in a context like this, you're landing on fucking glass no matter where you fall in this ring. Like, it's fine. Like, dude, what did he do? A moonsault? Yeah, I did a moonsault onto Mox on the fucking bed of nails.
A standing moonsault. I was really worried he was going to fuck up, like, the leveling of that, because you're used to doing it off the floor and hitting the floor, but he nailed it. He absolutely killed it.
And he had to land it in a way where his body was arced up, so he didn't land fucking on the nails himself.
Did you get as terrified as I did when the initial nail bed spot happened, that Moxley chucked Kenny into it in the corner, and then it fell, and you see it just, like, go down Kenny's arm? I got so nervous. I got so panicky. I was like, this is it. End the match already. There is no way he's not going to be gushing blood. But thank God it didn't go poorly.
Yeah, I winced, like, physically every time that bed of nails was involved. And a lot of this match made me uncomfortable, but I loved it. Like, I can't stress this enough. I don't love this type of wrestling, but oh man, was I into it and super fucking invested. But, like, you can never do it again, and that's okay.
Yep.
But
it's
you're
good
gonna
in
do
doses.
it.
It's good in doses for me. I don't need to watch it all the time. I don't have any desire to watch this type of wrestling on a weekly basis. But on these special events, these special occasions, I'm happy to, and they deliver. They absolutely deliver. It's just
on it. The fork spots bother me more than anything.
I feel like that's Moxley just directly responding to everybody who just says he can't wrestle. Like, he could have come in and, had a good little back and forth with Kenny and Hangman, who, beautiful, by the way, seeing the return of that team. You know, I as excited as I was for the Golden Lovers to come back, I was just as excited on some level to see Kenny and Hangman teaming for the first time one-on-one. You know, it was just those two for a few minutes, and that was great. But yeah, I feel like that was Moxley's direct response and reply to everybody who shits on his style of wrestling. He just came in and started stabbing people with forks. He bit Kenny's hands. That's just who he is now.
Well, on the other hand, when Ibushi came in, and after he whiffed like his second move, he bounced back with the third strike. And then he looked at Moxley, who was just holding down Kenny's hand on the bed of nails with his foot while flipping Ibushi off with both hands.
Iconic. And
it was fantastic. It was a great visual, great spot. I loved everything about it. And there was so much to love about this match. There was some nonsense. There was some things that were stupid.
Yeah.
But like it was, which mostly I think was the ending. But this really was, it's very cliche, it's very hyperbolic, but this was a car crash, and this was Twisted Metal. Like this,
yeah.
I literally was watching, like, I know this is going to be hard to watch and like probably upsetting to watch in ways physically, but I could not look away.
As somebody who has a gigantic fear of heights, Matt Jackson doing those repeated Northern Light suplexes onto Wheeler Yuta they were safe. I know they were safe, but they were just too close to the edge for me to be comfortable watching that.
You're using safe very loosely, but yeah.
They were careful.
Yeah.
They were careful. Yeah, careful-ish. Careful as you can be doing stupid stuff like that. And I struggled. I struggled because I remember the last Blood and Guts, which was Blackpool Combat Club and Eddie Kingston versus the Jericho Appreciation Society, and that was the corner that Eddie tossed Sammy Guevara off of. So in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, are they going to do it again? Are they going to toss him? But this time they're going to do like a flip over. Thank God they didn't, because I don't think I would have been able to handle the rest of the match, but they knew how to play with me.
Yeah, I really thought they were going to kill Wheeler Yuta off right there.
That came later.
But yeah, I don't. It's like one of those things where I'm like, oh, I know you shouldn't be doing this. I know this is bad for your health and it's unnecessary. But it's cool. It's entertaining. It's fun to watch.
What was your favorite spot in the match?
Ooh, that is tough to say. I really liked. I want to say either the moonsault on the bed of nails,
that was
because
really
it was so smooth. Or just when honestly when the whole BCC Plus had the Golden Elite in submissions at the same time, and then Ibushi started walking around like
that was
punching people out of it.
That was it for me, because I love Murder Ibushi. It's like for those who might be Dragon Ball fans out there, it's basically I know it's basically Ultra Instinct. It's just Kota just loses control of himself and he goes into murder mode. Or, all right, fair enough. If you are fans of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, when his suit goes into kill mode.
Isn't Ultra Instinct from My Hero Academia?
No, it's Dragon Ball Super.
Those are both garbage shows. So that's fine.
My Hero is great.
It's terrible.
Is great. Have you watched it?
I've watched 4 episodes. It's
not enough.
It's terrible.
Strong disagree. But I'm going to add to what was my favorite spot.
Main character sucks. I bet the other characters are great. Main character sucks.
He's just innocent. But regardless, I'm going to add to my favorite spot of the match, because it happened after the match. It happened after TV ended. Apparently, Kota just decided to take a full-on back bump onto Thumbtacks just because. He just tossed himself back first onto those thumbtacks.
Ugh,
All right.
why?
I am going to hide that, and
No, don't do it.
I am going to put him in timeout for a few minutes.
Oh no.
You know what?
Right.
No, I won't do that. I don't believe in censorship even for the worst of opinions. I don't need to highlight it, but no, I'm not going to block him for now. But I loved it. So now let's talk about some of the other story beats in the match. We had the downfall of the match. The downfall of the BCC. The downfall of the BCC was miscommunication between Pac and Claudio Castagnoli, who had sort of clashed earlier in the match too. There were a couple of moments where they weren't. I hate you. Where they really weren't on the same page. But then at the end, after Claudio misses a running European uppercut into the corner onto, I believe, Kenny, he instead hits Pac, who takes it personally, gets into Claudio's face. After a stare down, which was the equivalent of a chihuahua taking on a pit bull, Pac decided to flip everybody off, grab some bolt cutters or wire cutters, I guess, cut the
They're
chain.
bolt cutters.
Yeah. Cut the chain to the door, slammed the door in Claudio's face, and ran out, leaving them alone. After that, we saw a very nervous Don Callis come in and urge Takeshita to leave with him and to leave the Blackpool Combat Club on their own. I don't know where they go with Takeshita and Callis here, because they have definitely made an enemy with they've definitely made an enemy with the Blackpool Combat Club. That was the spot I was telling you about. Thank you there, producer boy. We'll wait for it to restart. But Takeshita and Callis, who already have enemies with the Elite, are now definitely going to be enemies of the Blackpool Combat Club. And as far as Pac goes, Jesus Ibushi, that's insane. I feel that with Claudio looking for a challenger for this Friday's Death Before Dishonor Ring of Honor pay-per-view, I think we found what his main event. Nope. I think we found who his main event opponent will be in Pac. And this is after Eddie Kingston having to drop out because he's in the G1. And this is after Mark Briscoe having to drop out due to injury. So I think Pac versus Claudio is going to be our Ring of Honor main event. And who knows? Maybe this is how we get our first world title on Pac.
It almost sounded exciting because you said title on Pac, but it's Ring of Honor. So.
I know. But at least the matches he's going to have are going to be bangers. That much we know. Nobody's going to watch them. It's going to be in front of a smaller audience than we have here at the Mark It Down podcast. But the matches will be great.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. But man, this ending was dumb. Like, bro, you're mad at him accidentally hitting you. You know, very early on in the match, Ibushi pushed Claudio into Moxley, and they literally butted heads, and they did not butt heads over that button of heads. So, you know, you seem real mature, Pac, when you can't take one hit and a 10-person, like there's 10 people in the match. You think there's not going to be any, like, you're not going to bump shoulders with your own teammates by accident. You know, but
it's all the testosterone. There's just so much testosterone.
It was a lame ending.
It was. I mean,
I didn't mind Callis taking Takeshi out at that point. Like in the context of this lame ending, that wasn't bad because it's a smart chicken shit heel thing to do by Callis. And Takeshi isn't loyal to the BCC. Is just he is doing Callis's bidding. So, you know, that's fine. But I was, and then they choked Wheeler to death for the win.
Who quit for him? Somebody quit for his behalf, right?
I don't know.
It wasn't Wheeler who quit, right? I don't think so.
He died.
Yeah, I thought it was Moxley who quit for him.
There's no way it was Moxley. Moxley doesn't care. He's fine with anyone dying in the ring. That's
true.
I don't believe that. I think because it's you either lose by submission or surrender, but if you pass out to a submission, that's still losing via submission.
I guess that's true. weird ending. Overall, like, and let's also paint a picture that Wheeler had taken basically every finishing maneuver he could have taken from it. He had gotten super kicks from the Bucks. He had gotten V triggered from Kenny, buckshot lariat from Hangman, and then Coda. I don't know if Coda did anything to him. He might have kicked him, but that hurts a lot too. And then he gets choked out with a strap, or no, I'm sorry, with a chain wrapped around the top rope, leading to a finish that nobody really knows.
It is what it is. Great match, weird ending, but a fun time overall.
Absolutely. And as much as I mostly loved this feud, as much as I loved a lot of what this feud gave us. You know, we have the Golden Elite intact now. We have Hangman back with the Elite. Kota Ibushi's debut. The rise of Takeshita and even Don Callis was great. The Elite and BCC shake hands after the match. Kenny Omega said he expects to see Ibushi in AEW again, and wherever the Elite go, he goes. God, can you just make him all Elite? I don't need this. Like, where he's not going back to New Japan. He's not going to WWE. Just make him all Elite. Even if he shows up once a month or like once every 2 months, just give me that security that I really want. But yeah, as great as this feud has been, I'm ready to see these teams just not interact for a very long time.
I mean, just to acknowledge Britt's tweet, I'm pretty sure it'll be next year. Also, you're going to die in that match, Britt, because you're going to take all the crazy spots because you're going to feel compelled to do it. So good luck. Thank you in advance. And we miss you. But
just going to confirm, by the way, commentary did confirm that Moxley surrendered to save Yuta.
Wow. Bad choice, man. Let him die.
Yeah, like if it's Claudio, I get it. If it's Brian, I get it. Yuta?
Yeah, what?
You have like 3 kids. One of them is biological.
Bro, just try to adopt Daniel Garcia again. I actually feel like he's now surpassed Willie Yuta and is better than him. So
I put them on equal floor. I don't care. Like I have cared.
Okay, yeah, that's fair too.
Yeah, like
yeah, I don't care about him that much. I'm just saying,
yeah,
like, he's just gone a little bit above. Like, I'd still don't care. Anyway, it's just a weird finish, but
he did not mention Monet.
Yeah, I think he actually is probably because Jamie's hurt.
Hayter, yeah.
And, maybe it's not the best idea to have Saraya in that match.
Yeah.
Even though I bet she'd be fucking game for it. But, all of them would be game for it. Doesn't mean it's a good idea. I doubt it, honestly. I think other plans have been foiled because Monet is hurt, but...
Yeah. But that was Forbidden Door. I think we're past that. Maybe All In, but
we're literally past that.
Yeah. So where do you see everybody going from here?
Downhill.
Okay.
Besides Takeshita.
So do you think Pac is going to be part of Callis's crew now?
I did not think about that. That was another thing I was upset about is I kind of wanted him to just be a part of the BCC.
Yeah.
Because he would fit. But maybe that's an interesting idea I didn't think about. Maybe it could be part of Don's Appreciation Society. That'd be kind of interesting, especially if wherever the Jericho stuff goes. Which, by the way, all right, Alex Marvez, you're supposed to be a journalist with integrity, and you're saying it's potentially the biggest story of the year that Jericho might join a faction, bro. Shut up. You sound like a fucking shill.
This would be Jericho's 3rd faction in the company. And again, integrity. The man was chasing after them at their private like lunch meeting at a restaurant, hiding in the bushes, looking just terrible. Terrible, Marvez. Renee,
bro, you know what you do? You have QT Marshall do that because that's some TMZ bullshit.
I love the implication that they are treating QTV like it should be TMZ. and they just didn't decide to put Q in front of TV for some reason. There is nothing to that angle. There is nothing to that gimmick. Nobody cares. I feel like Pac should be on his own. I mean, sure. You know, I'm not going to disagree with you. I wouldn't mind him going back to the Death Triangle guys, but even then, he feels like a peg that doesn't really fit in there anymore.
Yeah, or there's just nothing for him to do right now on his own or in Death Triangle, honestly. Well, not nothing, but it's like all that's he can't be the guy to take the title off Cassidy since he was the only other international level up Shazam champion. And hey, maybe we'll get a title change next week, and AR Fox will be the international champion. Imagine, but I don't think you could do him versus Christian or Luchasaurus for the TNT title.
Don't put him against MJF for the world title. Although down the line, he would be a good feud for Adam Cole.
Yeah. I mean, I still think I don't know. Early on in AEW, I really thought Pac would be like the third ever champion. But,
I can tell you
things
this.
change.
In a world where CM Punk didn't join AEW, Pac would have been a good guy to take the title off of Hangman.
I even think by then they pushed him so far down the card.
Yeah.
But maybe. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you got a Golden Elite versus FTR match at some point. Or Golden Elite versus hopefully new tag champs, MJF and Adam Cole.
That'd be great.
But do you want to move on to the top of the show?
Yeah, no, I just last words on it were this was a good, strong main event. They had plenty of time. They gave them basically the full hour to do it. This was a tale of two shows with Dynamite tonight where the second hour was blood and guts. The first hour was everything else. So happy with how this played out. I'm interested to see what comes next. I feel like Kenny is still going to be wrapped up in the Callis stuff. So therefore the Bucks will be too. Coda, I'll see you when we see you.
Could do Kenny and Coda versus Takeshita and Jericho or something.
Yeah, or Takeshita and Pac. We have a lot of options there. Yo, hardcore casual, good to see you, pal. Been a while. Happy to have you here. What did you think of Blood and Guts? Let us know. But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there. The Bucks should probably be doing something outside of the Callis stuff. I feel like they've been away from the tag division for too long now. I feel like they've just been wrapped up in the Kenny story for too long now. Hangman is another one. I don't know where we go from here. Why? Back it up. You're going to say it. Just explain it. Oh, well, there you go. That's his follow-up. God, making me really think about muting him. Kenny hasn't won a match in 2 months. That's not true. He won a singles match in the last month.
I don't think you have to acknowledge comments like that.
That's true.
It's just I feel like he's literally mimicking Don Callis there. That's he's going for a gimmick.
Who do you think Eric is more like, Don Callis or Jim Cornette?
Don Callis, because he looks like a dick.
I wasn't sure where that answer was going to go, but I was really satisfied with it. That was good. All right, what else we got? So that's basically it for the main event. We liked it. Everybody in the Market Town podcast liked it. Everybody, especially producer boy, he can't argue. But moving to the top of the show, we had a title match, kind of, if we want to call it a title. As FTW champion Hook defended his championship against Jungle No More boy Jack Perry. I feel I have opinions on it, but I feel your opinions are stronger. I want to hear what you have to think about this match. What did you, before we get into the match, they played a small video where Jungle Boy buried his old persona, and now he is just Jack Perry now. Came out in new gear with new music that was very cliche in my opinion, and he got the heel reaction. He really did. But what did you think of him? What did you think of the match?
This dude fucking steals from everyone. He's once again stealing from the best pillar that's not MJF, Darby Allin, and doing his whole fucking angsty college film student video, which is a knockoff of Elias's repackaging that never was when he buried his old gimmick, which is a knockoff of Cultaholic when they left fucking What Culture, a video. Like it was lame. Like, but it works because he's not a serious heel, but he's trying to pretend he's serious. So like if you look at it from a meta perspective, it works in the sense that it's so bad and you can't take him seriously. But that gets him heat because he did get heat. I actually like the music. I gotta disagree with you there. I think. Or maybe it's just cliche in a good way.
Yeah, no. It feels like guy who doesn't know how to be a bad guy yet going for that sinister music, and I think it worked. It's cliche, but in a good way. The comment.
Yeah.
I had it up for a little bit, but you didn't see it.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. Good shit, Eric. Yeah, for a young guy, he does have a receding hairline, which is fine. But I actually think the presentation works as they're finally leaning into the fact that this guy's a sniveling little shit. And like, hey, I would never, ever say I told you so more than twice a week. But like, I told you so. You're welcome. You're welcome to everyone. I hope to open up your eyes to what a little sniveling piece of shit this guy is and how you cheered him for so long was actually dumb and bad because he's dumb and bad. And he was always the worst part of his group/team. When your partner is a dinosaur and you try to pretend you're the star, you're an asshole. That's not how it works, okay? All right?
Fair enough.
I don't care how great Jeff Goldblum was, and he was, but, you know, you're not a T-Rex. You're not a Velociraptor. How dare you pretend that you're the star? People are there to see the dinosaurs, not you. You're a bonus. So act like it. You piece of shit. But him winning, Jungle Boy winning the match was good. The match was fun. It was, it wasn't anything special, but that's fine. It didn't have to be. It got heat. And goodbye, Jungle Boy. Nice day one design at the AEW. It'll be back in like 2 years.
Yeah, it'll be a while, but it'll be back.
Yeah, but
even if it's Jungle Jack Perry or something, and he drops the boy, the Jungle gimmick is gonna come back.
Yeah, it'll come back one day. But him winning was the right call. You get that heat. You get Hook's first loss out of the way.
Can I address that, by the way?
Yeah.
Because there was a very large contingent of the audience that I was reading online in multiple places that were saying they didn't want Hook's first loss to be Jungle Boy. It shouldn't have been Hook's first loss. Jungle Boy shouldn't be Hook's first loss. Who did you guys want to be Hook's first loss? Like, did you want it to be a guy like Jericho? Did you want it to be a guy like a main eventer? Like, it should be another up-and-comer that are going to... I mean, not that Jungle Boy is just some rookie, but it should be a young guy who's going to be in the business a long time with Hook and could have a feud with him for years to come.
Yeah, and it gives this feud actual heat because otherwise, like, and that's the other thing that works with Jungle Boy finally admitting that he's an asshole is that he's acting like this turn is like he's so dark and badass and broody now and like this big asshole. And it's like, bro, you broke up a team that wasn't a real team. You guys are a fucking joke. Like, it's not a serious team.
I felt worse when Y2AJ split.
I felt worse when fucking Team Little Big split in the Mixed Match Challenge. Like, the fuck? This isn't a real team. So him acting like, he's like, yeah, look, like, carrying himself like, yeah, look what I did to my friend. Imagine what I do to you. It's like, bro, do you even know his last name? Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, no, Jungle Boy,
I had, he was with me for like a second, just a second, but it didn't last.
yeah, I mean, it comes and goes. He's got to entertain himself somehow.
Yeah.
Because you don't argue with people truly because you disagree. It is just for entertainment purposes. But yeah, I was fine with the ending, fine with the match. Like, Jungle Boy's a little piece of shit, but like, this is the right way to book it. And Hook could get his win back. Maybe he doesn't even need the title back, but
I'm kind of actually upset. Love that. I'm kind of upset that it was for the FTW title. I didn't know going into tonight it was for the FTW title. I thought it was just a regular one-on-one match. I thought this could have been a great way of writing the FTW title out. I thought, if
he might just throw it out.
But that's kind of the worst part about it, because Taz isn't going to let that happen. He's like, who might I add, Taz has been great in this feud. He has done a great
fantastic
job. He's been he's done great work getting Jungle Boy to feel like a piece of shit and getting that across to the crowd. And but Taz isn't going to let that title that he cares so much about go to nothing. If he didn't care about it, it wouldn't be a thing on TV. But I was hoping that Jungle Boy would have beaten Hook. Hook didn't feel like a champion, so he just leaves the belt at home from now on. Stays in the family. Taz is happy. His son is the last ever FTW champion, and then we all move on from it. But that title is just going to be on TV, weirdly. But it is what it is. I gotta say, we didn't talk about it, but it needs to be talked about. The match ends. Jungle Boy, the ref is down. He uses that distraction to hit Hook with the FTW championship. Throws the belt away by the time the ref gets there, and the shit-eating grin that this guy had on his face as he was pinning Hook, that was the first time that I bought into the heel turn. Did you, you got to admit, that was pretty good.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
you didn't see it?
I probably didn't, because once the bell rang, I probably just started fast forwarding because I was behind. I need to catch up.
You don't need to go back and watch the match, but go look.
I did watch the match,
but I mean, you don't need to go back and rewatch it. Just look for that pin. His face was so perfect for that. It was perfect, and I see the heel he could become. I see it, and it's the first time I've been into it. Producer Boy is definitely looking for it. That's the only reason he's scrolling like this. But it was great, and I want more of that. I want more of that from him. I want him to be a cocky little shit, because it's what MJF called out a long time ago. And I want more of that from Jungle Boy, Jack. Well, not Jungle Boy. I want more of that from Jack moving forward.
Word. Man up, Taz, bro. Just no one lets career-ending injuries stop them anymore. Grow up.
I know. We're all adults here. We all graduated from high school. Mostly.
But I feel like we spent an adequate amount of time on this.
No, I'd agree.
What happened next?
We had our impromptu match. All this, by the way, peppered in with some Alex Marvez, Chris Jericho stuff. But yeah, our next match was an impromptu match between Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Kayla Sparks.
There's nothing to say. Britt hit 3 moves and won.
And she hit it very clunkily, too. Can we acknowledge that it just did not look... There's the
sling blade looked good.
The sling blade looked...
He looks like he just jizzed, but all right.
Jizz boy Jack Perry. That's the new gimmick. God, I can't believe I said that. Anyway, but when she put her glove on, I don't know if that was her fault. I don't know if that was Kayla Sparks' fault. I don't know whose fault. The camera. Okay, we're gonna remove that. we are. I don't know whose fault it was, but Kayla Sparks is just standing in the corner while we're watching Britt Baker take her sweet ass time, put that glove on her hand, and it was just. It took me like for a match I should not have cared about. I cared even less when that spot happened.
Sounds like you cared a lot, honestly, that you're getting so worked up about it.
Sure,
But no, it didn't make. Why'd you put the glove on when like you were gonna do other moves before the lockjaw? Usually, you're gonna go for the lockjaw when you put the glove on. So that was odd. Like, but like they also had like a minute and a half for this match, and it was the only women's like, why was this on the card? But more importantly, why was this the only women's match on the card? Granted, there was like 4 matches on this card, but like. Why couldn't it be a 6-7 minute match between Statlander and Shafir? Like, if that's going to be the match on Rampage, just put it on this show. Put the title match on this show. Have Britt wrestle on Rampage so you can have a real match against an opponent. That's perfect summary. This tweet sums up any soapbox I was about to get on. But yeah, that's how it was. This was pointless. Like, because then if you're gonna have a squash match, have it be a heel doing the squashing. Like, have Saraya squash a jobber. That's fine, actually.
Britt is, I feel, the opposite like side of the coin of Charlotte Flair.
No, I disagree with any Britt Charlotte comparisons.
No,
borderline inherently.
No, hear it out. Hear it out. I
sure.
reserve the right to say I'm wrong.
I also reserve that right.
Thank you.
To say you're wrong.
She's the total package in a lot of ways, but how she's presented does more damage to her than anything she herself could do to her career. And I think the same could be said of Charlotte. Charlotte's not a great babyface. We know that. I think we could argue that Britt is also a better heel than she is a babyface as well, but I'm not going to say she's a bad babyface. But the reality is, how she gets presented and how she is oftentimes inserted into situations that nobody is really asking for is usually what causes fans to turn against people. It's what turned people against Charlotte. Charlotte got inserted into so many angles, into so many feuds, into so many programs, and so many title reigns that fans turned against her. And I don't think Britt is anywhere near that level, but I see how Tony could use her to be his own personal Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, I think you're wrong, but I also think that producer boy maybe stop putting up all the Brit bashing stuff. I feel like it's just not a good look. That I don't want to be
associated with.
Yeah, I don't want to be associated with that. So yeah, that's I could see how you think that or where the train of thought is there. I think it's incorrect. Yeah, that's a dumb tweet.
I'll remove it.
Britt is not Charlotte. I'm not going to make this whole thing about Charlotte, but
everything
you
else
said
about
Charlotte is not a great babyface. Charlotte's a bad babyface. Saying she's not a great one implies that she's okay or good or fine. She's a terrible babyface. She's nowhere near as good at promos, Britt. And also, Britt being inserted in it. Britt is the star of the division, not the same way that Charlotte is in that she was the only one for a long time. By far, she was the only star. Charlotte was never the only star because Charlotte was never the most over person. Sasha was way more over when the three of them debuted, and then Becky became the most over person. Bayley also had a run as the most over person in the women's division. Charlotte was literally at no point in time ever that person in the women's division. And that is not me being biased or being a hater. That is an undisputable fact. But Britt was the most over person in the division for the longest time in a division that was not over. And also, she's just not holding people down. Like, this was just not a great match. Oh, God, we have Andrew. What is going on here? Why do we have Andrew Tate on our fucking screen, bro? Real quick, if you're a guy and you like Andrew Tate, you're a fucking loser, bro. But
Yep.
anyway,
Yep.
Britt actually tries to at least make things better. Also, Britt takes a lot of losses, especially recently. Anyway, I got very sidetracked, so I forgot everything I was going to say to defend Britt because I got so on a roll with my great point about how Charlotte was never actually the top person or the most over person. But that was a good tweet though.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That one's good. Yeah, okay, never mind, producer boy, you're fine. It's all good.
But you're walking a fine line here, pal.
Yeah, you're really hard teetering. But no, because that's not the issue here. Like the issue here wasn't Britt. Actually, I think that's the point I really wanted to get at is that none of this was yeah, see, I mean, of course, that's something that someone in the industry would say, but like, how has she proven anyone wrong? Please elaborate. I'd love to hear it. But, you know, Britt is not the problem with this. It's that why was this here? Why was this like this? Why was this a minute and a half?
Yep.
Like, why was this? I mean, the only thing you can say is that Britt was a little clunky in the match, which she was. But
man, we're getting a lot of Breaking Bad with this.
oh man, bro, what part of Twitter are you on, man? What incel corner of the map are we in
not
right
a corner,
now?
it's just Twitter.
Yeah, I guess. Catch us on Threads, I guess. But yeah, this was just why wasn't this a TBS title match or like an Outcast squash match if you're gonna do a squash match? Britt's not the problem. The structure of this was the problem. Or give her a good opponent and have like a 6-minute match.
Another Breaking Bad? What the? Okay. I'm going to move on just because I don't want to give him any more time to do this. But next up, we had our blind tag team eliminator tournament match, the finals actually, which saw Better Than You, Baby, Adam Cole and MJF taking on Jericho Appreciation Society members Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. Throughout the night, we had seen some MJF and Adam Cole segments where MJF, which have been a highlight of Dynamite, by the way, the last few weeks. Tonight saw MJF and Adam Cole go to a Chinese restaurant because Adam Cole, wanting to help MJF overcome one of his, I guess, fears or I don't know, uncomfortabilities. This is a weird thing to do to somebody, but he did it. Get over spicy food. So they went to the restaurant. Adam was there, eating the food with him, dying with him, being unable to tolerate the spicy food that they were eating. And instead of drinking water to quell it, which, by the way, guys, you don't drink water when you're eating spicy food. You drink something that'll flatten it out for you, like milk. Not that I would ever advocate for anybody to drink milk because it's a garbage liquid. But still, don't drink water. It doesn't help. They continue to bond. They continue to get closer. And it was a fun segment as they started to make fun of the waiting staff about their supposed resemblance to Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. Fun stuff. These guys have really been killing it with stuff that could be corny and could be really cringe. You can tell they're having a lot of fun with it, and I'm having fun watching it. We then go to a backstage segment a backstage interview with Renee as they share that they had gotten each other gifts. Me and Adam, went at it. Yeah. MJF got Adam Cole matching gear, matching tights. Adam Cole got MJF matching jackets, and he said he had one more gift to give him. As they're coming out, MJF hears his music. He's ready for Adam Cole's music to hit. And instead, it's a mix-up. It's a mashup of their two songs. And MJF could not have been happier as he hugged Adam Cole and spun him around in the air. It was a beautiful moment. It's the type of thing friendships are built on. It's the foundation of friendship. We get into the match, and, again, this is another one. I have opinions, but I feel like Danny felt a lot stronger, so I'm going to send it over to Danny. Get into it.
Well, I'm actually going to just backtrack a little bit to talk about what you have recapped so far. So as far as
recapping my recap?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to recap your recap, as I'm not going to say what you said. I'm just going to pontificate on
Good work.
your recap, but I liked the restaurant stuff. It was the weakest of their things so far, but it didn't matter because everything else was more important. They had their backstage interview with Renee, which, oh my God, the dig he had at Sammy. And so, first of all, Cole's like, we're going to win. Isn't that right? He's like, yeah, we're going to win. We're going to plan A. We're going to hit a double clothesline and win the match just like that. 1, 2, 3. And speaking, there's no plan B. And speaking of, unlike Sammy and his bimbo wife or whatever he said, we don't need plan B, which was just such a good line. I feel like that almost broke Renee. Like, she had a great reaction to it, but I could tell like she was fucking caught off guard by that. And then, they're like, I got the surprise for you, and you're gonna have to wait and see. They also, I like in this, it implies that because then Garcia and Guevara made their entrance, they had to change real quick into those matching tights. But MJF makes his entrance. He's waiting for Cole's music, and his own music hits, and he's like, guys, what's going on? You played my music again. You guys made a mistake. He's like talking into the camera. Great detail. Loved it. So when the mashup hits, he loses his shit. He really is, for the first time ever, this is the older brother he's always wanted. This is the type of bond and relationship he's always wanted with someone, and it's coming true. So he goes down, he's running. I love that every week he runs down to the ring like a baby face, slapping hands with the fans, something he would never do. Getting over his fear of poor people, even though poor people can afford those tickets. But, to MJF, they're still poor, even though they got those $1,000 fucking tickets. He's getting over his fear of poor people, and it's so disingenuous that it's circled back around to being genuine.
Yeah.
And he means it. And he's by being phony, he is one of the best baby faces by hamming up how corny and over the top baby face tropes are sometimes. Has made him so anyway, this match starts, and or this match doesn't start actually, because the ref goes to ring the bell. Garcia grabs his arm and hits his stupid little dance move, which is working and getting over, and I get a kick out of it, but he does it ad nauseum to the point where it's his whole personality, which is why he's still kind of whack. Yeah, exactly. But it's still fun to watch. Yeah. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, they find funny ways to still incorporate it, but it's like, bro, it's your entire personality now. But it's like, I get it. You're trying to get over. Cool. You're a new Fandango. Congrats, bro. But he goes to do, and MJF does it just as well, with a little more muscle. He did a little stronger one. So when they start doing that back and forth, and MJF calls for a dance off. He gets the crowd, because MJF this whole tournament is just like, what am I going to get this crowd to chant for this week? Besides the overarching double clothesline. It's like last week it was the body slam, which, by the way, I wasn't here last week, but I loved that match so much. Yep. Cass is amazing apparently now, or just every time he has a chance on Dynamite, he knocks out of the park, and he was great in that match.
I'm telling you, he's killing it.
He was a great, I guess, foil to MJF, if you want to call it that.
I mean, come on. MJF slammed Big Cass in front of 99,000 Maximaniacs at the what was it, Silverdome, or Superdome? Yeah,
it was the something Silverdome. No, it was. He did add another. The Saskatchewan Silverdome.
Silverdome in front of 99,000 Maximaniacs. Dude, that was perfect.
Yeah, it was
perfect.
It was amazing. I loved that match last week. But this started, he called for a dance off, and then he went to the timekeeper's area and hit a button, which I didn't know they had. Is that where the entrance music comes from?
I've always thought it was backstage. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was something that they just put there for us to have a visual idea of it. But either way, I'm going to be looking for it at every show now.
Yeah. So that was funny because he hit the music himself. And Garcia and Sammy were immediately into it, and they started dancing together. And, they had a somewhat choreographed dance. They were a little out of step with each other, but
Garcia
it
is
was
actually a good dancer. Sammy less so.
Yeah, no, I think Sammy is more of a normal dancer,
Yeah.
where Garcia is I guess a TikTok dancer, I would say. Where Sammy's not dancing to perform, he's dancing to like have a good time. Whereas Garcia is more performative. But it's pretty good. And then MJF hits some good moves and some corny white boy moves, but in a very purposeful, endearing type of way. And then he points to his partner Adam Cole, who I now think should never be world champion after his performance in this dance off. There's no coming back for that.
How did he pull Britt Baker?
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder, he dances like a Twitter apparently thinks Britt Russell's, but yeah, it was that was the only part where I was like, oh, this is bad. Like and it's supposed to be bad in like a cringe and endearingly cringy way, but it was just, you couldn't even pull off like corny well. That was the only part where I was like, oh, this is a little uncomfortable. Like I'm not sure what was more uncomfortable, like that or all the bed of nail spots. Like it's real close.
Yeah, no, it really is. I could rewatch one of them. I don't know. I could rewatch both of them.
Thank God they had a match to determine who would get the tag title shot, because otherwise they would have lost, and it would have been all Cole's faults. So I think he's the heel in the story now because he's a worse dancer.
That's fair.
Yeah. But then this, do you want to talk about the dance off before we talk about the match? Do you want to express your opinions on it?
I would never call myself a good, or I wouldn't call myself a great, not even necessarily a good dancer. I think I'm a better dancer than Adam Cole.
Yeah, I don't even think I know how to dance, and I can dance better than Adam Cole.
Yeah. But you know what? It's that type of blind confidence that has led so many white men into a seat of power in this world. So Adam Cole, keep on keeping on. But
no, that's the thing, is he had no confidence when he did that. So
all right, you say he was hesitant, but once he was in it, he was in it. He was blind, like he might as well have been in an empty arena because he was dancing like no one was there.
No, he was dancing like not only was there people there, but like he had a perfect mirror. He could see a mirror of himself. It was very, very uncomfortable. I'm not going to grade a dance off like it would a Max Caster rap, but he is definitely a 2, whereas everyone else was like a 6 or better.
Yeah.
So the match itself, though, again, fantastic. So much. This has been the most sports entertainment shit I've seen in so long. And while I understand now why Garcia and Guevara won, it's just so you could have the dance off. Otherwise, there's still no reason this wouldn't have been better if it was Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. But I do not shame dancing, but I feel like there's a but coming.
Right. No. He was making a declarative statement for some reason.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that'd be great if Rosie O'Donnell segment. Say, I got you a surprise, and out comes Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell in this text, in this message. Rosie O'Donnell, as if she was a farmer of some sort. Didn't some overweight dude poor dance moves like something you might want to do?
Wait, see, you already gave the context as to why that was bad, because it sounds like they were making fun of him because he was overweight. We're not making fun of MJF for how he looks. We're making fun of him for not being able to dance. And we've qualified that we can't dance either.
Kind of weird that he needed to mention that the dude was overweight.
Yeah, it sounds like you're projecting a little bit, buddy.
Right?
Yeah, like you could have just said, didn't some dude get shamed on Twitter years ago for his poor dance moves by some mean white woman,
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Now that's the key. You got to get him to get over his fear of poor people. But he happened to be overweight. But you made sure that was so early.
How was it relevant?
That was the third word in your fucking story, bro. Okay, and you're gonna call us out on it. Maybe look within first. Okay, look inward and see how you view the world and how you project on the people before you call us out. Okay, James hates foreigners and he hates women. He has nothing against overweight people or skinny people. He doesn't body shame. He shames them for everything else about them, though.
I have
Okay.
goddamn standards.
Exactly. But yeah, the match itself was so fucking fun. I just love it. It's just the most fun shit. Yes, I didn't even bring the banner out that time.
No, it was me. But if I'm going down, I'm taking him with me.
I want these two to win the tag titles, but I loved. He convinced MJF to do a dive. Unbelievable. I feel like that's...
let's for the context of the match. MJF had teased one earlier in the match where he ran the ropes like 6-7 times, probably more. And then instead of making the dive, he just puts his hands up and smiles to the crowd. It was a fun MJF moment. It's all I expected from MJF. So for then Adam to convince MJF to actually do it, and to do it well, I might add. I've seen many people make that tope look terrible. MJF looked good hitting it.
Yeah, it wasn't a smooth landing, but like the dive itself was very, very crisp.
It really was. And the crowd ate it up. Like
the crowd ate everything up in this match.
They are dying to cheer for him. The crowd is dying to cheer for MJF. And it's going to hurt so much when he turns on all of us.
It is. It's going to hurt so much but it's going to hurt even more because we're going to feel bad for him, even though we're going to know he is the bad guy. He's going to be turning on Cole. We will feel bad because we know he doesn't want to, but he's so self-destructive and he can't believe that anyone would really be his friend. So he's just going to be bitter and believe that he has to be alone and turn on MJF. It's not, or turn on Cole. It's not going to be truly because of Cole. It's going to be because Max is so insecure and Max is so afraid of truly letting someone in that he's going to put up a wall one way or another. He's going to self-sabotage to the point where this falls apart. So that not only will we be devastated that this is falling apart, not only will we think that Cole is in the right because he's the one being turned on, but we will have a heel who's coming from a place that we can all understand. We have a heel who is still right, even if he's doing the wrong thing. Like he's still not right, but we understand his motivations and we can sympathize with. And a heel who believes he is right because he doesn't think he's capable of having a true friendship or relationship with anyone. And it's fucking beautiful. Like this, it's taken the best part of the Punk MJF feud, which I still think is the best feud AEW has done so far. But like it's taken those beautiful nuggets from that, like those moments of MJF getting real with Punk, so like where he told the story about how he's bullied after joining the football team, and Punk just came out. I was like, is this true? Like, is that true? You know, like it didn't feel like wrestling. It felt like, you know, like it's taken that and stretching it out so much and making a whole meal and a whole movie out of it. And it's just so good and satisfying. Like I am cracking up watching this, like genuinely borderline tearing up, like from laughter watching this. And when he turns, oh my God, it's going to hurt so bad. It's just, it is fantastic. This is my favorite. I think this is my favorite thing in wrestling. And it's funny, the only thing that even comes close is Alpha Academy. Like it's insane that the two most sports entertaining fucking things on both shows are the best things right now to me. Like, you know, and you could argue the Bloodline is the best thing in WWE, and sometimes it is. I don't think it is right now. I don't think it has been since Mania because the wrong guy won at Mania. But like Alpha Academy is this just unequivocally nonsensical sports entertainment shit that is just universally beloved by anyone watching it. And that's how I feel about this times two. Like it's because the emotion's there and the story's there, and it's like I know that this is your world champ and it feels lesser than in a way, but it's so good. And when that turn happens, this is going to be by far the best thing on the show, and you're not going to care about the other shit going on in the show. This will be the focal point of the show again. It doesn't have to be a twist. The twist is that he doesn't want, not a twist,
Yeah.
but he's just gonna not want to turn. He doesn't want to turn on MJF, but he feels like he has to because you can't turn Cole heel again. He just came back as a face. Like you're gonna turn him heel just for the sake of a twist. Like that's not
It'd be
good.
such a waste. It would be such a waste. And sometimes, like, sometimes the most predictable answer is the right answer. You know, MJF doesn't want to be a babyface by all accounts. I mean, granted, that could have changed since he's won the title. I know he was very resistant to turning babyface. Adam Cole is a naturally likable guy. He's a great heel, but he's also a naturally likable guy. And it adds so much more mythos or pathos to MJF's story that, again, like you said, he had that brief chance at being better, at having a friend, at not ruining everything. But his own insecurity is going to be what puts him and this friendship under, and potentially his own title reign. I've been saying it. One of my favorite things that we've been seeing week in and week out is he keeps getting outsmarted. He keeps letting his own ego and his own insecurities get the best of him. It happened with Adam Cole. It happened with Bryan Danielson. And if he gets in his own way, and that is the reason he loses the belt, it's even more reason for this character to develop and to change. And for someone so young who's already accomplished so much and wants to be a part of this business for a long time, you need stuff like that. So, yeah, I think it's going to be MJF. I think it should be MJF. And, yeah. I don't know if Cole wins in the long run. I'm not sure if that's the move. I don't know.
No, not after his dance moves. But no, I want to re-highlight Dropkick JD, dumb name. But the why is my name on this moment with it's going to be, I will cry. Like I probably will just genuinely cry when it happens. It's gonna be so good and so bad, but so bad and in such a hurtful way that
do you think it's more why is my name on the list, or do you think it's gonna be more DIY?
I hope it's more I mean I don't think this is a hot take, but I am gonna be hyperbolic.
Oh boy.
You cannot compare DIY's basic ass split to the Festival of Friendship. Like it's two different universes, and the DIY split is like really, really good. It's memorable because they had the trademark logo show up, and that was the cool part of that felt that. But other than that, it's like a normal turn. Like it's just like they really waited to make you do it. You can't compare the Festival of Friendship to the I just think about that. So every once in a while I'm just like, why is my name on this? It's so good. You can't compare it, unfortunately.
JD from NY has terrible takes. He just does. He has bad takes. Is it going to hurt? Yes. It's supposed to hurt. That's why you got to do it.
But I still want them to win the tag titles.
I mean, it'd be fine. I'm fine with it. But that doesn't mean I don't think this is something that should still be a thing in 3 months. I just don't think
it shouldn't, but it's so good.
I get
it is though, like
it.
Oh well, we get this awesome thing. I was texting my friends about this, and one of them was just like, "Yeah, I can't wait to boo the shit out of FTR." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, bro! We are ruining FTR right now." That's the other thing this is accomplishing is. You want CM Punk to turn heel? You know how we're gonna do it the roundabout way. Let's turn FTR first.
Let's get to the let's get to the end of the match, which saw MJF and Adam Cole win after multiple attempts throughout the match and calling it for weeks now. We got the double clothesline. Knocking Daniel Garcia out of his boots, upside down, flip sideways. He was out after that. Got the 1, 2, 3, and MJF got the pin. Great ending. Both men celebrating. Both men super excited to move on to the championship match against FTR. And FTR coming out, confronting the world champion, and his big buddy, his big brother, Adam Cole. Man, I never realized how short they were. Right? I never really realized how short FTR were.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, now you're kind of body shaming, which is kind of lends credence to what JD was saying earlier.
Is it body shaming or is it height shaming?
Is it not like under the same umbrella? Also,
I feel like when I'm body shaming someone, it's for things that they can control. If I'm height shaming someone, they can't control it, and therefore it's funnier.
So it's worse. It's a worse thing.
And better at the same time. You see, it's like it goes both ways.
Yeah. People can't control height, you know? That's yeah, I guess we're just we're bad people now. But yeah, no, I did not think Adam Cole was taller than them. Yeah, no, I want them to drop the belts. So Cole and MJF, fuck it. Strike while the iron's hot. Give MJF all the belts. I want to see MJF versus what's inherently worse, JD? I don't know which one you're saying.
I think it's the height thing.
Which is like weird because no one agrees with. I don't think people really agree with that.
I mean, I'm being facetious. I am being shitty right now.
Those are your opinions. That's fine. But yeah, like it is. I agree that it's worse, but no one acts like it because all people do is make fun of short people with no problems. But anyway, let's see what Eric has to say. Brain Tony gave tag to FTR because they had planned this since the Acclaim won the tag titles. No, because it would have been better if it was versus the Acclaim because Caster and MJF have the best relationship that's never shown on screen.
Oh God!
And it's only shown between fans in the front row with signs.
This could have been it. Oh my God!
So we got there in every way. That was the wrong move. No matter how much time has passed.
I let go of that anger a while ago, but now it is reignited. I could have gotten my Max Caster MJF rap. It could have happened. You could have had the match. You could have had the match at what the fuck was it? Grand Slam in New York. It would have been perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking. Okay, so Max Caster has rapped to MJF before, once on Dynamite, but like the Acclaimed were jobbers then still. But once prior to AEW, and it's so good. I don't know how many like roasts you've watched, like the Comedy Central roast, but one of the all-time greats, Norm Macdonald, he did more of an anti-roast. That was great. And he was just saying nice things. And then Andy Samberg did a less good, but still good one years and years later. But that's basically what Caster did in his rap, where instead of like dissing MJF, he talked about how secretly MJF was a nice guy and donated to charity and did a lot of community work, and just started saying all these good things about MJF. And like that's kind of what I wanted in AEW, but it's just that would have been fantastic. But anyway, we've gone way off the rails. I'm excited. This was the best thing on the show. I'm sorry, Blood and Guts. Like, you didn't have a double clothesline, and Claudio and Mox tried to because they saw how effective it was earlier in the night. They didn't hit their double clothesline.
Oh, and look who lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
It all works out. But yeah, this was great. I love this. I'm so excited for that match.
So, but we got to finish. So after the match, FTR comes out, confronts the champs, and there's a nice little stare down. The type of thing that you put in a promo package. But after, Adam Cole is holding the championship belt, and he stares at it for just a second too long. Like that uncomfortable level of, you should have handed this off already, Gollum. It's not yours, it's Frodo's. And
I'm sorry, what?
Harry Potter.
Okay. But was that like a Horcrux or something?
It was one of the Kyber crystals. It's a whole thing.
You've lost me again. I've read the book Fight Club. Is that applicable? I don't.
I mean, in the same sense that like Hulk smash, sure, but regardless of all that, MJF grabs the belt from Adam Cole, gets in his face, gets angry, starts yelling at him, confronts him about this, and Adam Cole has to talk him down off the ledge. He was just getting ready to give the belt to him. It wasn't anything serious. They're good. Let's all stay focused as they go into their title match against FTR.
It was serious. Adam Cole's the bad guy here. He is the one who got caught looking. Why would you do that, man? You're
really
ruining
did.
the best thing.
He really now did. Like, it's one of those things.
Who is JD arguing with right now?
I think me, but I don't know.
Who does he say your mother to?
I mean, he wouldn't say it to me because he loves my mom, but like,
is that? I feel like he's referencing things, but we're so far ahead that I've already lost sight of it. But he called you a dork, I guess, because of all the references. But yeah, God, I want them to lose. So
they're going to. That's the thing. You need to be prepared. They're going to. And I'm okay with that if it leads to MJF versus Punk again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, there's just so many good things that could come out of this. This is great. This is the best. I fucking love this. What I guess to send it home, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. What did you think of the show? What's your favorite number? And what's the last book you read?
Okay. What did I think of the show? I'd give it a 14 out of like 20.
Okay.
I'd give it a 14 out of 20. Favorite number? 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And last book I read, it was definitely a Star Wars book, but I don't remember which. It was Star Wars Thrawn, not Treason. I don't know. It was one of the Star Wars Thrawn books.
Movies aren't books, just so you know.
You are right.
But
movie though, I saw Oppenheimer. I cried.
Okay. You watch Barbie?
I didn't get to. I went to the premiere for Oppenheimer. I'm going to see Barbie this weekend. It hasn't come out yet.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
What about you? What do you think of the show? Favorite number? Last book you read?
Okay. The show. I think the show was 17 out of 21.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. The only bad parts were like the endings of the Blood and Guts match and the women's match or lack of women's match.
The concept of it.
Yeah.
The concept of it. Yeah.
My favorite number is 8, just perfect in every way. And the last book I read, I think, was Looking for Alaska.
Did you find it?
No, I don't want to spoil it, because I was about to spoil it. But yeah, I think that was the last book I read. I think I read that not too long ago. But how'd the match end? JD, what we're talking about? It ended with a fucking double clothesline.
It's like he's not even paying attention.
Yeah, it's not like we're fucking scatterbrained over here and talking about random shit, okay? We gave a chronological recap of the show in its entirety, detail for freaking detail. Yeah, we don't need you, Rev, to steer the ship, all right? We're chaos here. That's how it's going to be every week.
Did the Mets win?
They did win somehow. Yeah, we're undefeated in the past 2 days. But yeah, we're running the show. Okay, this was a perfect show because it was only 4 matches. But why is this guy yelling? Sheesh, man.
He's been looking forward to Coda coming to AEW like since day one.
And he
then
doesn't even watch the match.
I had to remind him that the match was happening today. He's like, but wait, it's Wednesday. I'm like, yes, AEW day. That's the only day it could happen. He's like, what about pay-per-view? They've never done it on a pay-per-view, I don't think. I think it's always been on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, some fan you are, bro.
Right.
Holy shit. How did it end? Poorly. It ended very poorly. It ended when Pac was like, nah, mate, I'm off this. That's what British people say. I just didn't do an accent because I'm sensitive. So
That's
the
kind of
people's
Rev's
cultures.
thing, too.
Yeah. That's what you're good for, Rev. Okay. We're gonna look moving forward, Rev. I know you're not here, but sidebar, Rev. Look, man. All right, this stream still went on a long time, but we also started late and had technical difficulties. But like, to condense things a little bit, we're not going to talk about every single thing that happens. We're going to just acknowledge that some shit is garbage and we don't need to talk about it, and then move on. And like, that's going to be because chaos reigns supreme here on the Mark It Down podcast. But anyway, do more accents. Also, that was also part of the sidebar. Sorry.
Sidebar to the sidebar.
It ended when Pac was like, yeah, no, I'm off this, mate. And then he left. He got bolt cutters and opened the cage door, which had only been locked for like the last 5 minutes of the match because Yuta and one of the Jacksons were outside. But and then Takeshita was like, or Don Callis was like, oh, it's a good idea. Let's leave. And then Takeshita and him left. And then they handcuffed Mox to the ropes. And I forgot how they incapacitated Claudio. But then they just choked Willie Yuta to death. And Mox was like, oh, no, I guess stop. Like, I guess I don't want the kid to die. If he's not going to die at my hands, I don't want him to die.
You don't get to kill him. I kill him.
Yeah, it was whack.
Why would who do what?
Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
Use names.
I mean, he's reacting to what we're saying. Like,
we use names. We said Pac. We said Takeshita. We said Callis. We said Yuta. We said Moxley. The only name we didn't say.
He's trying to get his name. He's trying to get his comment in quickly. Look, man. I mean, no, if you want to give him a hard time, by all means, I shouldn't be stopping you from giving JD a hard time.
Thank you. I'm going to put all my frustrations from JD from NY into him.
The dropkick JD from NY. I mean, they're equally like shit names, I guess. So
see, he used a name now, Pac. Why would Pac do that? Pac he had been sort of going at it with Claudio throughout the match at different points where there was some miscommunication.
Like once early and then once right before he left.
And Pac was in the corner, and then Kenny was sort of in front of him. Claudio went for a running European uppercut. Kenny dodged it, and he hit Pac instead. Pac, being the Napoleon complex fella that he is, got right up in Claudio's face, trying to like step up to him. And then he was like, I'm done. I'm out. Goodbye. What's up, Navarro? Happy to have you, pal. What did you think of the show tonight? You got to let us know. We miss you we miss you here at the Mark It Down podcast.
Oh, shit. You just got here, Navarro. We'll start from the top.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Hello. Welcome to Mark It Down Production. My name is Jay Baruchel. I'm joined by Jonah Hill, as always.
No. I will take Seth Rogen. I will take Danny McBride. I will take Danny McBride.
Why are you like? I feel like you're really pigeonholing yourself into a certain type of person here. I just thought you were a good actor, so I was gonna give you someone who I think's won an award. Why? What are you so trepidatious about being Jonah Hill? What's the problem?
So many reasons.
What? What's going on? Did he do something?
A few things. Allegedly. We don't make unsubstantiated claims here at the Mark It Down podcast. We believe in evidence. But that said,
that's not true.
It seems like he would do it. It seems like he would do everything he's ever been accused of.
All right. Okay, so then I'm
this is only going to be worse for me. So we're good.
I am Anthony Jeselnik and my partner Louis C.K.
Can I be Amy Schumer, please?
Oh God,
I'd rather.
Actually, I have no problem with Amy Schumer. I just don't have an opinion on it. The correct approach is that I don't have to have an opinion on Amy Schumer, so I just don't. I have no reason to have an opinion on her.
Fair enough.
But Yeah, so we'll start from the top for you, Navarro, I guess. But James doesn't have boundaries. He doesn't like people with boundaries. He doesn't like people with boundaries, but he loves borders. Let me tell you.
All right, we're moving on.
We're going home. Right.
Coda looked good from the moments you watched. He was a little rusty.
You watched the wrong moments, buddy.
What he did, what he accomplished, he did well. What he kind of missed the mark on, it was a little noticeable. But for a guy who hasn't wrestled since January of 2022, I'm cool. You know, give it time. He's not elite yet, so we don't know if he's sticking around. Kenny said that he expects to see him in AEW again, but that's it. That said, go watch the match. It was a great match with a weird ending.
Amy is trash. Joke stealer. Okay, that I forgot. I remember that now. That was yeah, sure. But like, do you really want to be one of those people like walking around proclaiming your hatred for someone? Just ignore her. Like, it's pretty easy. And like, you know how little I think about Amy Schumer? It's so great. I never have to worry about it.
And in the scheme of the world, comparing Amy Schumer to like Louis C.K., two very different reasons to not like somebody.
Yeah. But yeah, Coda whiffed a bunch of kicks. But other than that, he was good. It's just when he whiffed bad in this match. But it still was good. But anyway, we're way off the boil here. We don't go on tangents here, but
not at the market down.
We're just kind of chilling while we end the show. But anyway, as always, guys, be nice to animals. I'm gonna expand on that a little further. Don't adopt an animal if you're not prepared for the commitment, because it is a multi-year, long-term commitment.
Yep.
And if you're not able to handle that, you're a loser, and don't adopt an animal. And think about that beforehand. Don't have cold feet 2 months in. Give an animal time to adapt to its new environment, you piece of shit. You know, maybe really, really think about it. Animals aren't accessories, you fucking loser. You know, but anyway, be nice to animals. Don't drink and drive. Do you want to add anything?
No, I think you nailed all of it as usual. And be kind to animals, as the ticker says. I spent time doing that for you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Jeselnik is a pansy. Bro, you're like taking the side of a whack-ass comedian, like, in that one, Eric. I looked into that after we talked about it, and it's some loser, dude. So who cares? If that's the side you're taking, get better taste, bro.
But yeah. We have the social medias. We're getting threads at some point soon. You know, that's where all the cool kids are now, supposedly. Check us out there. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, if it still exists by tomorrow. Who knows? Check us out on all of them. I do stupid stuff. I get chopped by professional wrestlers who have hands bigger than my head. It's funny. Go laugh at me. Other than that, thank you for being here. We love you. We miss you. We want to see you every week. Come out. I got a cat on me.
Kitty.
Hey, buddy. But yeah, I think that's my sign to sign out. I'm James Gisanti. That's Danny Hernandez. I'm pointing the wrong way. That's Danny Hernandez. Thank you for joining us at the Mark It Down podcast, and we'll see you next time. And I'm going to awkwardly transition into the end. Bye.